Hey, how you guys doing? I was just thinking about this morning that in life we tend to forget about our own flow of doing things, our own personal expressions and things like that. We get swept up in how the world does things. We get swept up in our job and what they demand for us, and we get in flow with that. Social media, our likes and dislikes and things like that, caught up with other people. We kind of get out of our own little orbit. We get wrapped up in everyone else's stuff, keeping up with the Kardashians and whatnot. I don't know who still watches that, but whatever. So we get out of our own flow and we lose ourselves. This is a society of people who have lost themselves. A lot of people lose themselves, and sometimes you just have to get back to brass tacks. You got to get back grounded and find yourself again. And this is where you need to do it. You do it outside, because one thing that nature's not going to do is it's not going to demand anything from you. Out here, it's do you, we'll do us, and we'll figure it out when we bump heads. So sometimes we just need to get outside. Just need to take a breath, leave all that crap inside, leave all the stuff at work, and just get back to you and really reprioritize, refocus on what's actually important in life. What is actually important in my life? And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just don't go outside. They don't sit outside by themselves. They take their phone. I mean, I have my phone with me, but that's for another reason. Uh, they have their phones are always plugged in, always jacked into everything that's going on. But you have to disconnect every once in a while and get back. And sometimes you'll realize, oh, I was on some other stuff. What was going on with that? I don't know why I was doing what I was doing, or why I thought their words were so important, or why I felt like it was so important to get this car, get this job, get this, get that. You really figure out what's important when you disconnect. And depending on how lost you are, the more you got to disconnect. So if you need to go camping, that's what you need to do. If you need to just sit outside for 20, 30 minutes, that's what you need to do. But this is just one of those ways to get back to square one. Don't think about bugs. Don't think about how hot it is or anything like that. Use your brain. As soon as I say bug going around me right now. Use your brain. Get in the shade. Take a big breath. Let it out, and just let your consciousness wash over everything. Just look at the grass, look at the trees, and just listen to everything going on. Someone's sawing or leaf blowing or something, but I ignore that and just listen to nature going around you. And then focus back on yourself and just sit. Don't think about anything. Just sit. Just let it wash over you. You'll start getting back into flow with how you actually are. And when you go back in the house and you go back into things, and you really get grounded in this before you go back into the house, before you go back into the real world, and you'll go back in with a new fresh set of eyes. You'll be like, wow, why was I even doing this? Like, what that's not even that important to me anymore. What the heck's going on? And it's an energy thing. You get swept up in the energy and the frequency of everything else going on around you that you forget about yourself. You put more value on someone else's energy, something else's energies, the way something else makes you feel, the way someone else makes you feel, that you forget about yourself. And we need to remember ourselves. We need to be ourselves. Like I covered in my other video, is that we need to come back to center and be the sun in our own solar system. Don't always think about revolving around someone else. So getting back to self, getting back to base, to ground, is very important. You should probably do it like once a week or however many times you need to do it, but you should get outside and really ground yourself. Now, if you're into meditation, then there's another way of doing that. If you're just not into meditation, not into anything spiritual, that's fine. Just do what I said. Come outside. You can put your feet on the ground if you want to. You don't have to believe in any of that. Just take a breath and just get in touch with nature a little bit. Just release all that stuff and just let yourself be. Then go back in and see it with new eyes. And if you're into meditation, then I got a little something for you. So, anyone who's doing meditation should be at the level where they can do energy work to some extent. If anything, just feel your own self. So, feel the energy that's around you, that aura, that thin layer that's going around you, just your individual presence. And put my feet on the ground. And while you're out in nature, take that big deep breath, let it go, unfocus on what's going on in your life, and focus on nature. Like that energy that's around you, that aura that's around you, let that meld into the nature around you, the grass, the trees. Expand your consciousness until it touches them, the sky. Just let it all flow and let yourself flow with it in time. And just be there in that moment for as long as you can do. If you bop out of it, don't get discouraged. Just go back in and try it again. And you'll realize that as long as you don't get frustrated, because sometimes you get frustrated, oh, I can't get it. No, it's not about that. It's about the trying. Because, we were all babies at one point. We tried to walk over and over again and fell down. You don't see a baby get frustrated, just give up and just decide to crawl. So keep going. You'll realize that you'll start to oscillate down from where you were, the energies that you were at, when you were not yourself. You'll come back to yourself slowly but surely until you are. And your thoughts will start to flow better. Your energy will start to flow better, and you can meditate for longer. You can do clearer energy work if you're clairvoyant, clairaudient, if you get messages from your spirit guides or anything like that. Those will come clear. So it's just a way of refocusing. It's just a way of grounding yourself in the flow of nature. Not grounding yourself with the earth itself and grounding your root chakra and everything like that. It's about just this exercise you can do to get in touch with nature. And you can really do this anywhere. It doesn't have to be like in your backyard, or if you have a backyard in a park or something, you gotta put your feet on the ground, get your blanket out, and get in your stance. No, you can be walking down the street and just stop walking. Take a breath and just expand in the trees and the grass and just look at the day. Look at everything going on. You'll be like, wow, it's a nice day. And just instead of walking so intently like, oh, I gotta get here, I gotta do this, it's hot, you just kind of stroll and you're going at your own pace. You're going at your own frequency. It brings you back to where you're supposed to be operating from. And sometimes in this day and age, we get too wrapped up in everything going on around us that we forget about ourselves. So just my thoughts on getting back to self, a little bit of meditation exercise about getting in touch with nature and feeling, the things around you. So, hey, use it if you want. Don't use it if you don't want. And it's just my thoughts.